Cool, good morning. All right, today we're going to start on our backs and we're going to bring our attention to the pelvis. Have some blocks or some objects nearby, and for later on we're going to need a ball, but not just yet. So if you've got your Jenga blocks or your lighters or your pens, then you'll be needing those at some stage. All right, just starting on the back, let's do our little check-in. So laying on the back, let's lengthen the legs out, straighten the legs. Take a deep breath in. And just feel all the points that are connected to the ground. Let's start with the feet. Feel the heels. Moving up the legs into the calves. Backs of the legs and the buttocks. And just notice, is one side pressing down more than the other? Moving up into the lower back. And then into the upper back, middle back and upper back, scapula, shoulders, shoulder blades. Just noticing, is anything, is there any more pressure on one side or any differences from one side to the other? Not making it right or wrong, just noticing whatever's true. And then moving the attention up into the neck, and the head, backs of the arms, the wrists, the hands, and then just feeling the whole body and noticing what you notice, and just making a mental note of what you do notice. Let's bring the knees up, bend the knees, bring the feet up close to the bottom, to the buttocks. Bringing our attention into the pelvis, into the pelvic floor. And let's tilt our pelvis so the lower back comes off the floor. And then slowly lower that back down again. Taking about 5 seconds to lower that down. And then let's tilt the pelvis so the lower back flattens. And then slowly come out of that. One more time. Let's do the lower back off the floor. And then lowering that back down again. And then pushing the lower back into the floor. And then coming out of that. And then this time we're going to do the same thing. We're going to raise the lower back. So we're going to tilt the pelvis so the lower back comes off the floor. And then we're going to pull up the pelvic floor. So we're going to pull up. So actually, before we do that, my apologies. Let's imagine the pelvic floor. Let's put our attention on the pelvic floor. And let's imagine there's a cross there. So there's a horizontal line that moves from one side to the other across the perineum. So behind the genitals, in front of the anus, there's a line, a horizontal line that goes across there. And then there is another line that moves down the front. So a vertical line that moves through the perineum as well, through the genitals and through the anus. And then we're going to do our pelvic tilt so the lower back comes off the floor. And then we're going to pull up the pelvic floor and notice which half, the front or the back half of that divide is activated. We're going to hold that for a couple of seconds, and then we're going to maintain the pelvic floor tone as we lower the lower back down to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to slowly release the pelvic floor. So let's do that again. Same way. Let's tilt the pelvis so the lower back comes off the floor. You'll notice the head, the sort of chin tucks a little bit when we do that. And let's pull up that pelvic floor and notice which half. For me, it's the back half. For me, it's like the half that's closest to the floor. And then we're going to maintain that tone, keeping it nice and tight. And we're going to lower the lower back down to the floor slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that tone for a second. And then slowly release the pelvic floor. Take a resetting breath. Now let's rock the pelvis so that the lower back squishes into the floor. And let's pull up the pelvic floor and notice which half of it, front or back, is activated more in this case. Hold that for a second. Maintaining the pelvic floor tone, let's come out of the pelvic tilt. So the back goes back to neutral. And then let's slowly release the pelvic floor. Let's do that one more time. So tilting the pelvis so the lower back presses against the floor. Pull up the pelvic floor. Notice which half is being activated. And then 5, 4, 3, coming out of the tilt. 2, 1. Keep that pelvic floor tone. And then slowly release the pelvic floor. 3, 2, 1. All right, nice. Now let's look at the other two halves. So we just did the top and bottom, above the horizon, below the horizon, and now we're going to do to the left and to the right. So let's go to the right first. Let's close the angle between our hip and our ribs. So we're going to pull almost like our right armpit is going down towards right belt loop. Pull them together. You'll feel a little drag on the head, like on the back of the head. And now let's pull up the pelvic floor, nice and strong. Notice the right side of the pelvic floor getting activated. And now let's keep that pelvic floor activation. And 5, 4, 3, 2, coming up back up to neutral spine. And then hold that for a moment, the pelvic floor in the middle. And then slowly let go. Do that. Let's do another one of those. Right belt loop comes up to right armpit. Pelvic floor comes up. Notice which side. And then slowly coming out of the tilt, keeping the pelvic floor strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that pelvic floor tone for a moment. And then slowly, 3, 2, 1, release the pelvic floor. Take a breath, reset, have a little jiggle, and let's look at the other side. Left armpit goes down to left belt loop, left belt loop comes up to left armpit. Feel a little stretch on the back of the neck. Pick up the pelvic floor. And slowly come out of the side bend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping that pelvic floor tone. And slowly release the tone. Nice. Breathe into the new space you've created. Let's do one more on that side. Left belt loop comes up towards left armpit, and left armpit comes down towards left belt loop. Pick up the pelvic floor. Nice and strong. And let's come out of it even slower this time. 10 seconds. 10, 9, keep that pelvic floor tone. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then hold the pelvic floor for a moment. And slowly release. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's just do one diagonal on each one. So let's look at 2 of those planes at the same time. Let's tilt the pelvis so the lower back comes off the floor, and let's bring right belt loop and right armpit together. Pick up the pelvic floor, and then coming out of that nice and slowly, keeping the pelvic floor tone up, keeping that quadrant up. Relax out of it, and then relax the pelvic floor. Nice. Let's flatten the back. Let's tilt the pelvis so the back flattens. Right belt loop, right armpit. Pull up the pelvic floor. And then coming out of it, keeping the pelvic floor up. Back to neutral. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go of the pelvic floor slowly. Now do lower back off the floor. Left belt loop, right, left armpit. Pull up the pelvic floor, nice and strong. Slowly coming out, keeping the pelvic floor tone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. And slowly let go. Alright, last one. Flatten the lower back. Left armpit, left belt loop. Pull up the pelvic floor. Notice which quadrant is getting activated. And then slowly coming out, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly let go of the pelvic floor. Nice. Just straighten the legs and just do a little scan of the body. Noticing if there's any differences. Taking a few deep breaths just to reset the nervous system. And if you've got your objects nearby, now's a good time to grab them. Let's say 4 objects. And let's bend the knees. Let's just have the objects to the side for a moment. And let's push the feet into the ground and lift the hips up. And let's lower back down again. And let's do that again. Let's do it 1 vertebrae at a time. So let's push the heels in. Let's just lift the pelvis up a little bit. And then the first vertebrae, second vertebrae, third, fourth, all the way up until we get between the shoulder blades. And then hold there for a couple of seconds. And then slowly 1 vertebrae at a time, coming back down again. And 1 more of those. Just being mindful, feeling the back. Noticing every point that's touching the ground and coming off the ground. And then slowly back down again. Being very intentional about sticking to the ground and peeling off the ground. Right, let's try that with just pushing the right foot into the ground. Same thing, 1 vertebrae at a time, pelvis coming off first. We'll notice what difference it makes. For me, I'm rolling up the left side of the spine now. So I've got about 90% of the weight is going into the right foot. The left foot is just stabilizing a little bit. And let's come back down that same side. Right side, all the way, most of the way into the right foot. 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's go with the left foot this time. Let's push the left foot in and slowly, very intentionally peeling off, feeling the contact with the ground, feeling that weight pushing up, 90% in the left foot, pushing up into that right shoulder, all the way up, squeezing the glutes, and then slowly coming back down again, very intentionally feeling the point of contact between your back and the ground. Nice. Now let's push with the right foot. Same as before, coming up 1 vertebrae at a time. And then let's shift the weight so that all the weight, or most of the weight, goes into the left foot when we reach the top. And then slowly lowering down into the left foot. And then let's push up with the left. When you reach the bottom, push with the left foot so that one vertebrae at a time we're coming up on the right side into the right shoulder. Let's squeeze those glutes at the top. Shifting the weight so that the weight goes into the right leg. And slowly lowering back down one vertebrae at a time. Nice. Now let's grab those objects. Let's put all the objects in the left hand. And let's take one of those objects with the right hand. And let's roll over onto the left shoulder and reach over the left shoulder as high as we can and place an object either standing up or laying down above the left shoulder. And let the shoulder that you're rolling onto, the arm that you're rolling onto, let it be firm, let it be strong. And let's put the blocks in the right hand and take one in the left hand. And pushing with the feet like we were just doing. Let's reach as far as we can. So we're making a bridge with our hips. And let's just do that for a little while. Let's just take an object in one hand, place it as far as we can above the shoulder of the opposite shoulder. And then let's do that on each side a couple of times in maybe different positions. And then when you've done it, collect them again, seeing if you can reach a little bit further each time. So when we reach over the right shoulder with the left hand, we're pushing mainly with the left foot. And so when we're reaching over the left shoulder with the right hand, we're pushing mainly with the right foot. Nice. Let's put them down. Let's do a couple more. Really feeling the connection between the positioning hand and the feet and the twist in the body. Really experiencing how much the hips are involved in the placing of the hand. Alright, so let's collect all our blocks. Nice. Alright, once you've collected your blocks, just pop them to one side for a minute. And let's take the knees and drop them to the left. And let's have the arms out to the side. Drop the knees to the left. And left And then let's trace the right arm over the head, touching the ground. And let's curl up and pretend like we're clutching some puppies in our arms. And then let's trace that right arm back over the head as we bring the knees up to center. And our arms are out to the sides. And let's drop the knees to the right. And then allow that left arm, that left hand to trace the ground and follow the knees, clutching the puppies on the right. And let's inhale to trace that arm back over. Take a deep inhale at the top, opening the arms, and then curling up in the fetal position on the right, tracing the arm over the head. Inhale. Exhale. Just letting the hands maintain contact with the floor. And just opening and closing the body. And next time you come to the left, curl up with your puppies, and then gently rolling up onto the left forearm. We're going to come up as if your arm is made of eggshells, and you have to be really gentle with it. And then we're going to come back. So we're in this now, and when we get up, we're in this figure four. And we're going to go back down onto that eggshell left arm. And we're going to roll over very gently onto that arm into our starfish. And then tracing the arm over the head, clutching the puppies, and then rolling up onto that right arm into our figure four. And then we're going to reverse that again, rolling down onto that right arm nice and gently, tracing the arms over the head, starfish, other arm, clutch the puppies, rolling up into the figure four. Nice. Cool. Right, rolling down onto the, one more time. Starfish, clutch the puppies, figure four. And this time we're going to stay up. And we're just going to get into like a bear sit. So let's just tilt this a little bit. So let's get in our bear sit, which is just keeping the chest up. I'll show you from the side. So we're going to grab our ankles. We're going to tilt the pelvis so that our lower back is active and engaged. And we're going to pull our chest through, keeping the spine nice and long, pulling the chest through, pulling the pelvis, tilting the headlights on our butt cheeks upwards. We're just going to hold this for a couple of minutes. So just relax into it or pull yourself into it, but just working to relax our jaw. And to breathe. Let's bring the head into it a little bit. Let's look left and right whilst maintaining our chest up. Let's look left and right, and let's look up and down. Slowly, just waking the neck up. Maybe some circles. Just explore whatever feels nice, but maintaining the position of the chest and the pelvis. Another 30 seconds. Cool. And now we're just gonna, if you have yoga blocks handy, you can use these just to help keep a bit more upright. But if not, it doesn't really matter. We're just gonna take the right knee and we're gonna bring it down. I'm just gonna windscreen wipe that in. And just smoothing out any judderiness. So not making it wrong if there is jerkiness, but intending to smooth that out. So we're going to take that all the way open, trying to get the knee as close to the floor at each end of the windscreen wiper. We'll just focus on the right knee first. Let the left leg do whatever it needs to do. And let's do another 8 of those. And let's keep that right foot active. We can do that by sort of gently bringing it up towards the shin. That will protect the knee. And just staying away from any pinching or anything like that, any pain. And wherever you see any jerkiness, just slow the movement down and intend to smooth that out. So relax the mind about it. Just notice any tension in the forehead or in the jaw and work to release that, work to drop it. And keeping that heel pressed into the floor, protect the knee. Keeping the chest up. And let's keep those knees apart, like so when we're in the open position and we're sending that right knee towards the floor, let's try and keep the left knee away as much as possible. It will drag along a little bit at the end, but let's try and keep them apart for now. Okay, last one. Actively pulling the chest up and into the movement. All right, now let's put some focus on the left knee, left hip. Left knee's coming in. coming out. Keep the knees apart for as long as you can, and then let the right knee follow a little bit. That's one. And just notice any differences you notice from one hip to the other. For me, my left hip is a lot jerkier. And I notice that when it jerks, my eyes lose focus. And so by focusing the eyes on the space around the body, like an open focus, we can begin to notice when our eyes go blurry or dart around, and just intend to smooth that out. So we can even pause where we notice that, focus our eyes, and then continue with the movement. I notice a correlation between lack of focus with the eyes and lack of awareness in certain ranges of motion. Like a dissociation happens between the mind and the movement. And what that shows me and what that teaches me is the unconscious mind, or the subconscious programming that I've programmed into my nervous system is now becoming conscious. And this is how we reprogram the mind and the body, by revealing the subconscious, revealing unconscious movement patterns and the mental dispositions that go with them, and intending. First of all, we need to accept where we're at. And once we understand and once we see what we're doing and what we're up to, we then have the potential to create a new pattern, a new relationship. Nice. Okay. Let's drop the left knee down. Let's have the right leg behind. Let's get into our 90-90. If 90-90 is not available to you, that's okay. We can just bring the ankles towards, we just close the angle, the knee angle, until we can find an angle that's comfortable for us. And let's just take a moment here in our position. Once we found our position, let's take a nice deep breath. If you need a yoga block, it can be really handy to help keep the torso upright. And let's bring our attention to this back hip, this right hip. And let's rotate it inwards. So let's do a little, by pushing this, the bottom half of the leg into the ground, we can rotate that pelvis, and notice our torso goes along with it. So let's just do a few of those. And we can even look over the left shoulder. And we can sort of integrate that right hip rotation with torso twist. And if that's enough for you, then you can just continue to play with that. And if you want to take it to the next level, we can bring the arm in. So we look backwards, look over the right leg, looking backwards and palm to the ceiling. And then we can, pushing with this right leg, pushing that whole, rotating that hip, we can bring that palm face upwards in front, crossing the body, and we can send our ear towards the ground. Now you might not be able to get all the way down. Let me just give you a better angle. So it looks like this. So we open up and then we push, driving with this back leg. We send our back of our hand onto the ground and the ear towards the floor. You might not be able to get there on the first rep, but we're working towards that. And then to come out again, push this front leg into the ground and then open it up. And we're going to do 6 or 8 of these. And holding yourself up as necessary. Take your time. If it feels good, you can pause and take a breath at end range. So that this back hip drives the forward movement, and then the front hip helps slowly lower us down. Ear towards the floor, and then the front hip pushes us out and opens us back up again. Let's do 2 more. And you could be anywhere. You could just be doing this with the arm. It doesn't need to be all the way down to the floor, but that's like the that's the intention. So even if we're not getting down there, that's sort of like where our attention is aiming. Nice. Finish the one you're on. And then we're going to come into, we're going to flip that. So taking that right knee up into our bear sit, and then left knee comes down, and our bear sit should face the other way. You can reset or stay the same, whatever works for you. I'm going to flip around so that you can see me. We should basically have the right knee forward now, and the left leg is the back leg. And let's just start with our hip rotations. So I'm sending that left pocket down towards the floor and allowing the spine to follow. I'm also pushing this bottom half into the ground. My foot is active. My whole leg is active. Nice. Scoot over here a little bit. I'll scoot back. All right. Okay. Holding yourself up as necessary. Let's bring the arm in. So opening up. Exhaling, coming down. Maybe you're just here for now. Maybe with each rep you can get a little lower. Driving with that back leg to come forward. Lowering ourselves down with the front leg. Maybe taking a breath to open up the end range a little bit. And then driving that knee, driving this whole foreleg into the ground to open us up. So everything is active. Let's do one more. Nice. And when you finish that one, let's come up into a low squat. And let's do some more head circles. Let's keep the chest up. And bring the head into it. Active feet. Let's pull our body like so. By lifting the fronts of the feet, we can pull our bodies forward. So let's do that. So I'm sort of lifting up the big toes a little bit, which is sort of activating this angle between the tops of the feet and the shins, and I'm causing the body to rock. So it's happening in the feet. So I'm pulling in and then I'm pushing away, pulling in and I'm pushing away. And I'm doing that by like pulling the feet up, pulling the toes up a little bit. To activate tibialis. Nice. All right. Let's put the hands on the knees. We're gonna do our standing, sort of stand up in a sumo squat. So we're gonna send the head forward and the pelvis back. Head forward, pelvis back, coming up to standing. Nice. Let's just do a couple of those. Hinging at the hips, head goes forward, pelvis goes back. And then we're going to bend the knees. And we're just going to come up on the balls of our feet and stack head, rib cage, pelvis. And then heels come down, head goes forward, pelvis goes back, coming back up. And one more. Hinging at the hips. Bend the knees. Stack the three body weight centers. Balancing on the balls of the feet. And then pelvis goes back, head goes forward, straighten the knees, straighten the hips. Nice. Take it out. Right, let's see if I can get a little bit more. All right. Maybe I should skip all of that. And let's get into. Let's do a little bit of toe lifts. We can't not. So let's soft bend in the knees, pelvis over the feet, so that the feet, you can feel like the entire footprint of the foot and our 3 points of contact. Let's maintaining that feeling of a footprint. Let's lift the big toes up. And then let's put them down and let's swap over to the other toes. Keeping that footprint shape on the ground. There's 3 points of contact. And let's do some toe swaps. Let's do 10 toe swaps. 1, 2, swap, 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 swap. Nice. Let's do a toe stretch. So let's bend, like you might need a wall for this, and just in a yoga mat underneath your foot, and let's just stretch the big toe all the way up to the hip. This should be at the front line of the body there. Keep the chest up. And breathe into that big toe. Into the lower belly. Into the front of the hip. Cool. Let's do the other foot. Nice. All right. I don't think I need a yoga mat anymore. Okay. Now let's take a wide stance. Let's lift the heels. Shifting the weight from left to right. Going lower. And then coming up. Let's do our grapefruit imagery. So when we're shifting away and we're lowering that heel, imagine we're crushing grapefruit. Crushing the grapefruit. So lifting the heel up and then shifting the weight, lowering back down again, crushing that grapefruit. Shifting the weight up, lowering back down, crushing the grapefruit on the other side. And just notice the difference that makes. And just do that a little bit more. Nice. Right. Keep your wide stance. Let's touch the floor in various places, or touch the ankle, or touch the calf. Touch in front and behind. Different angles. Just getting as low as possible. Maybe in front. Maybe touch the back of the hand to the floor. In behind. To the sides. Right. Now you're going to need your ball. And so we're just going to move the ball in like a figure 8 between the feet and around the feet. You can do slow. You can do fast. Keep going. See if you can keep your hips low. So my hips aren't high. I'm not bending like that. My hips are low. And my knees are bent. So see if you can keep your hips lower than your torso. So rib cage has to be higher than your torso. Than your hips. Nice. Just drop your hips there a little bit, Andy. You might need a bigger ball. You can, and if this is too big, like if you have a Swiss ball, a big Swiss ball, you can do it with a Swiss ball, but you might not be able to get it between your legs. So for people who have got bad backs or really bad knees, you can just bring it up higher. So the bigger the ball, the less deep you have to go. The smaller the ball, the more challenging. Woo! Shake it out. Cool. Shifting the weight onto left foot. Lift the right foot up. Let's take that into a figure 8. Active. Grounded foot is very active. Everything is driven by that grounded foot. Using the arms as much as necessary to balance. Keeping that footprint shape on the floor. Letting your figure 8 be as big or as small as you can manage. Don't go too big if you can't manage it. Just keep a nice little small one like that. Nice. Nice. Shake that out. Let's take it into the other foot. Shifting the weight. Dropping into the right foot. Figure 8. Get back here a bit. Notice any difference? Is one foot easier than the other? Can you manage to keep that footprint shape on the floor? Or does one side want to always come up? Make the movement smaller so that you can keep the shape. my right leg, my right foot on the right big toe pad wants to come off the ground a lot, so I have to make my figure eight on this side a bit smaller. Otherwise, I need to compensate, and I'm not able to keep that big toe pad down. So I have to humble myself on this side a little bit, or a lot. Whew. Shake that out. Right, I have two drills that we can do here. The slightly easier one would be our Jenga pickups. So, how should we do this? Yeah. So, start on the left foot because we've just done a lot of work on the right foot, and we can just do our putting our objects down. So if you've got lighters or pens or blocks or whatever you've got, we just start on the left foot and we put them down as far away from the body as possible. Actually, like, I think left hand, if it's left foot, it's left hand. So we can do that at 3 o'clock. Sorry, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. Okay, and the only rule is you're not allowed to use momentum. So there's that game. And so you pick them back up again, and then you take that off and do the other side. That's one game. The other one is Hidden Dragon. So this one is where we take shift the weight. I'm going to start on my right leg, open the body, let the tail go back, hinge at the hips, and then with the right hand we can support ourselves on our knee and reach forward. That's one rep. So I'll say that again, opening up, hinging at the hip and bending the knee, twisting forward and reaching forward as far as possible while supporting with the right hand. It's a hard one. Opening up, hinging at the hip, bending at the knee, coming forward and reaching and touching the ground. Now my thumb is facing upwards I'm holding my leg like that. So either of those two drills, reaching forward, and just shaking it out wherever you need to take a break. I'm going to do some Jengas on this foot. If you're doing the Jenga blocks, just remember it's whatever leg is standing is the leg that places the block down. Oh yeah. Woo. And do a couple on this leg. So just keep putting them down, picking them up again, and swapping legs as necessary. Woo! Shake it out. How long are we going here? Alright. Alright, let's just do some standing to finish. Let's bring our feet about shoulder width apart. Move this back a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, it seems so. I can't get as much of me in today. Right. So let's bring our feet about shoulder width apart. Let's pretend our feet are on train tracks. They're nice and parallel. Let's go low. Let's bend our knees nice and low. I'll show you from the side. So our back. So imagine now our pelvis is like on water, floating on water. And our torso, I'm not here and I'm not here. It's just sort of sitting on top, sort of floating around on top. Just check in with the breath. Just do a couple of toe lifts to check in with the feet, keeping those knees bent. See how different that feels. Keeping that footprint stable, keeping that footprint consistent. Alright. Feeling below the earth, below the ground, a ball about the size of a basketball, about a meter or so underneath the ground. Just place your attention there and feel that. And now feel the bottoms of the feet. Really make them feel alive, like they're pulsing, like they're vibrating. Now let's feel the knees. Let's breathe into those knees. And when we exhale, we fully exhale. Just bring attention into the hips here, into the groin. You might be feeling a little bit of fire in the groin right now. Keep breathing. Bring the attention up into the center, the dantian. Feel like it's a sun in there, like a flaming sun. Let's bring the attention up into the center of the chest. Let's imagine the chest is unfolding, opening up, expanding with every breath. So inhale and then exhale, opening up like a flower. Keeping those knees nice and bent. Bringing the attention up into the throat. Just imagine the throat is opening. And if you want, we can open the arms. Feeling the fronts of the shoulders and allowing them to open with every breath. And bringing the attention into the center of the head. Active fingers, relaxed shoulders, relaxed jaw, relaxed forehead. Bringing the attention to the top of the head, the crown. Bringing the attention about 1 meter above the head, about the size of a basketball. And feeling the space underneath the ground again. From the waist down under the ground for about 3 meters, or as far as you can feel underneath the ground. How deep can you feel? Now feeling up, from the waist up, infinitely upwards. How high can you feel? And then to the front, the space in front of you, in front of the body, from the midline forwards. How far can you feel forwards? And then the back, feel the space behind the body. And then feel the space far, far behind you, through the building, through the wall. And then feel the space to the left, from the midline of the body to the left. Through the wall, through the building, as far as you can feel. And then feel the space to the right. Now feel all the directions. Feel all of the space around you in infinite direction, like infinitely far away. But also feel the midline of the body and how that sits in that space. Dropping the arms down, fingers go down to come up. Bringing that down through the center of the body, through the center, through the hips, through the knees, through the feet, down into the ground. Inhale. Bringing that feeling awareness through the crown, through the chest, through the pelvis, into the feet, into the ground. Imagine there's dewdrops hanging off your fingertips, gently, 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 gently. Nice. Shake that out. Shake out the shoulders. Shake out the hips, the knees, elbows, wrists, head, fingertips. Nice. Thank you for practicing with me today. I'm wishing you a beautiful day. And I will stop the recording.